very few people today who are as unfiltered as I am, and I think my next guest certainly can qualify for that. They now call her Auntie Maxine. We know, of course, is Congresswoman Maxine Waters from Los Angeles. Congresswoman, good to see you.
Delighted to be here with you, and I'm so happy to hear about this program you're doing.
Who would knew an 80-plus-year-old black woman would have these millennials all hyped and giving them a run for their money?
Well, you know, I am just so honored that young people have decided that they like what I say and the way that I handle my politics. I think that the millennials are now beginning to understand that there's a difference with elected officials and how they handle public policy, and there's a difference between those who just want a title and want some perks and a little upward mobility, and those who are saying, hey, this is who I am, like me or not, I'm gonna tell it like it is, and if that means I don't win my election, then so be it.
You got to have folks who are willing to go toe-to-toe and say, I'm not gonna back down from you.
I told someone the other day who is trying to say that we're violent when we protest. Protest is about making you feel uncomfortable. If your heart tells you that this is what you need to do because you see some injustice, that you see people who are creating, you know, a terrible time and pain for others, and you want to protest to try and make change, to try and make it right, then speak what your heart is telling you to do. Right. We can't allow anybody to intimidate us and call us violent. We can't allow them to take away our right to protest. And so I think the young people see that, and they have gotten angry, and they have gotten tired of that. What they have been taught has not worked for them. It's not fair. And so when they see change, and they see those who are willing to speak truth to power and to confront, you know, racism, et cetera, I think it is allowing them to become themselves.
There are things that you do, the things that you are able to affect, that most people will never ever see, never ever hear about. Literally, it could be the removal of a sentence in a bill that could alter it in a way.
In financial services, my committee, for example, I know that we are not covered adequately because we're talking about everything from derivatives, you know, to the Boca rule, and that's not sexy. And people don't get that. But you know, when you have something like the Boca rule, what you're talking about is keeping these banks from taking the money that's deposited in them by the average worker and going out and gambling with it and trading. That's not written about. And it's not going to be written about, but we just have to do the work that needs to be done to protect people that need to be protected. The Black Caucus does a lot of work in every committee that we serve on, whether it is, you know, my Financial Services Committee, or whether it's Benny Thompson with Homeland Security, or whether it is, you know, Cummings sitting on the Oversight Committee. We know that we get criticized because all people see oftentimes it's what the media will let them see. You know, they might come to me, you know, and they want me to talk about slavery. And I said, no, I'm not talking about that today. I'm talking about the banks.
Right.
And I'm talking about Wall Street. Well, they don't want to hear that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so you get defined based on what the media will allow you to say and do in the way that they present you.
You thought about retirement?
Of course not. I'm going to be here until I'm 100 years old.
So here's the last thing. So if you got 30 seconds to tell somebody why they must vote, what do you tell them? Go.
There are a lot of folks out here who don't want you to vote. And they're doing everything to keep you from voting because they don't want you to have power. They don't want you to have the money. They don't want you to have the resources to have a decent quality of life. And those are some of the people who are living in the best styles with the most money in this country. So if you don't want to have them continue to tell you what you can have, you better get out here and vote.
That was 22 seconds. Congresswoman Maxine Waters, I appreciate it. Thanks a bunch. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I have so many people who I see in the street who say to me, Ms. Waters, I got your back. The only way you can have my back is to get registered and vote, vote, vote.